Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Gurumedeva Sarvakarishi Sarvada Om Shri Sadguru Bhyo Namaha Om Bhagavate Shri Swami Narayanaya Namaha Shri Lakshmi Narayanaya Namaha Shri Radha Krishnaya Namaha Shri Nar Narayanaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 31st of October 2024. This is the Diwali time going on. I want to offer my prostrations to all the sages and to Paramatma, Bhagavan, residing in the heart of being at all times in every situation. Diwali is this festival of lights. As we know, our life can be lit up with Ananda. To continue from yesterday's contemplation on this subject, Ananda is continuous joy. It is unbroken, uninterrupted, steady, and ever-expanding joy. That is Ananda. It is Akhanda. Ananda is Akhanda. Khanda means it's that which is broken. And Akhanda means that which is unbroken. So Ananda is Akhanda. Akhandananda. This is a Sanskrit word. It's very interesting. This is what we are looking for. Every human being is only in search of this state of realization. Akhandananda. Yahi chahiye जीवन में. All beings, not just human beings, everybody, all beings. But the trouble is, or the fact of the matter is that Akhanda Ananda is not possible to open due to the engulfment in the three gunas of Maya. The three gunas of Maya are covering up that Akhanda Ananda. It's already there. Akhanda Ananda is not something that is created somewhere. वो तो है ही, वो भगवान की मूर्ति में से निकलता है. भगवान की मूर्ति जो अक्षरधाम में जो मूर्ति है, अक्षरातीत, अक्षर से पर भगवान है, परमात्मा, पुरुषोत्तम भगवान, नारायण जो मूल स्वरूप है, नारायण तत्व, वो तो एक ही है. You call it any word you want, doesn't matter what name you call that tattva. It manifests in different ways at different times. That Paramatma that is beyond Akshara Brahma is called Ananda Kanda. That's even more interesting. The root of where Anandam originates. Bhagwan himself or itself is also Ananda, Satchit Ananda. Of course, it is Satchidananda Vigraha, unka sakar swarup hai. Bhagwan ek hi tattva hai, only one tattva, not two. The Atma is also Satchidananda, Sat Chit Ananda. The Atma of all the Ishwaras is also Satchitananda, Satchidananda. ब्रह्मा जी का भी आत्मा है, शिव जी का भी आत्मा है, विष्णु जी का भी आत्मा है, इंद्र का भी आत्मा है, चंद्र का भी आत्मा है, सूर्य का भी आत्मा है. Every devata has आत्मा तत्व. Every ईश्वर has आत्मा तत्व. अनंत कोटि ईश्वर है. विराट पुरुष, वैराज पुरुष, विराट नारायण, उनका भी आत्मा है. अनेक प्रकार के विष्णु के सब अवतार है, भगवान विष्णु के, उनके भी आत्मा है. But it's the same kind of Atma like we have. But they are Ishwaras. They are Sarvagna. We are Alpagna. Just as there are, 8.3, 8.5 billion people in the world today. Each person has Atma. Similarly, there are billions of Ishwaras. But there is only one Parameshwara. So ईश्वर कोटि it is called. कोटान कोटि ईश्वर है. हम imagine नहीं कर सकते. We cannot imagine that at all. And in Sanatan Dharma, thousands of years of dhyan, meditation, realization has opened up that realization of what the Ishwaras are, who they are, how to access their abodes, उनके जो सब धाम है, उनका जो स्थान है, how to go into that. The rishis were able to do all this. to actually move into different lokas. And then from there, to go into the Vaikuntha Loka. And I mean, there's no end to all of that. It is a spiritual world. So all that is beyond our normal human consciousness is accessible in the highest of samadhi. But that's kind of samadhi is called yog samadhi. And to enter into that, one has to be living by oneself in isolation. You cannot live in the world with people that way. You'll not be able to live with anybody also, because you're not in the world anymore. Only body is here, and eventually body can also go. But the sages, they would stay inside the forest, and they would build these meditation areas, kuti and all that. They would build these different ashramas. This is how the Sanatana Dharma started. It wasn't like how it is now. The actual original Sanatana Dharma is completely in nature. Completely. And it is all for meditation. And so all the Rishi Parampara, they had built ashramas. They were not called temples. They were ashram. There were no temples, in fact. There were no murtis of any kind also. किसी की मूर्ति नहीं थी. और उपनिषद में लिखा है तो किसी की मूर्ति बनाना भी नहीं. ये भी लिखा है, न च प्रतिमा अस्ति, बाय द वे. उपनिषद का सिद्धांत ये कि मूर्ति कभी भी नहीं बनानी. Think about this point. Then you could ask the question, why there are so many mandirs, why there are so many sakar, Bhagwan's ki sakar upasana, what does that mean? Why is that? There's a lot of science and history behind that also. ये बहुत बड़ा subject है. But उपनिषद का सिद्धांत, उपनिषद एक टाइम में कोई मूर्ति थी ही नहीं. The only thing that was there were these ashram, and there was havan. There was nothing else, and mantra. और कुछ नहीं था. And in the mantra, they would see the murti. वो मूर्ति जो शिव जी का स्वरूप है, विष्णु जी का स्वरूप है, इंद्र जी का स्वरूप है, जो different देवताओं का जो स्वरूप है, actually they can see but they do the havan, or Rishi Muni are sitting in dhyan, उनको सब दिखता था. And what you are seeing, you can never describe it. So Upanishad says, Nacha pratima asti. Don't make any image. Now the question becomes, how the Sanatana Dharma has countless images. That is because that should be understood, not misunderstood. Because the anubhav of the rishis, like of Durga Devi, for example, they actually saw Durga Devi. Who is the Durga Devi? So that swarup is imprinted by her krupa in the mind of the rishi, and then they have made a picture of form and image. And then that is a doorway through the mantras, for the general public to access the Devi, to access Shivji, to access the Paramatma. In fact, in the case of Bhagavan Krishna, it was after 500 years after his body was left that the murti was installed by an individual. 500 years later. Murti hai to kisi ki bhi bana sakte hai. But murti is not just a murti. It is to be understood as an incarnation of that Paramatma that you cannot see. Now, it seems contradictory. Why the Upanishad is saying Nacha Pratima Asti? Because it means do not make an image that is created by your own fantasy mind. That is the actual meaning. That's what it really means. It doesn't mean कि ये जो ऋषि मुनियों का जो अनुभव था और अभी भी है जो पर स्वरूप का, like for example रामानुजाचार्य को जो अनुभव है श्रीमन नारायण का, लक्ष्मी जी और भगवान नारायण का वैकुंठ में, that is a real thing. It's not some imaginary. So then the images that are installed here, the murtis that are created out of stone, and then all the pratishtha is done, that same Narayana that is in the dham, जो धाम में जो मूर्ति है, धाम में जो दिव्य स्वरूप है, वही अर्चा स्वरूप है यहाँ. So that is not a fantasy. That is the grace of that Paramatma through the Acharya, through the Rishi, to become accessible in this worlds of names and forms, in this world. And that is true with Nimbarkacharya, Vallabhacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll give you an example of Bhagwan Swami Narayan, Shriji Maharaj. If you go to the Vartal temple, Vartal में उन्होंने लक्ष्मी नारायण की मूर्ति की प्रतिष्ठा की है. You can look it up. Go to vartal.com, just put Lakshmi Narayan. You can see the extraordinarily powerful Divya Murti hai. Lakshmi ji और भगवान नारायण की मूर्ति है. And Maharaj ne, when he did the pratishtha, he said that Lakshmi ji and Narayan that is in the Vaikuntha Dham, same is here in this Vartal temple. विचार कीजिए. 6 temples were built by Shriji Maharaj. All भगवान कृष्ण के स्वरूप है वहाँ. अहमदाबाद में है, इन द नर और नारायण ऋषि उनकी मूर्ति है. दैट इज वो बद्रिकाश्रम का स्वरूप है. लक्ष्मी और नारायण वड़ताल में है, वो दैट इज फ्रॉम द वैकुंठ धाम. और अदर फॉर्म्स ऑफ कृष्णा भगवान आर देयर. मदन मोहन जी एंड गोपीनाथ जी महाराज, वो सब गोलोक की मूर्ति है. इट्स नॉट सम इमेजिनरी थिंग. These abodes are there. And see, utsavs like Diwali. Diwali is, and just like any utsav we have, it has only one purpose. That is to destroy agnan, ignorance, rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva, mera, tera. ये जो constantly we talk about this, ये इसका नाश होना चाहिए. Until and unless it is not destroyed, this rag, dvesh, as the Gita says, rag and dvesh are the 2 big stumbling blocks to realization. It has to go. So when we light the lamp, I am that lamp. That I am. Who am I? I am Brahman. I am Akshara. I am imperishable. ऐसी कुमारी होनी चाहिए, ऐसी एक निष्ठा होनी चाहिए कि मैं कौन हूं और भगवान कौन है. ठीक है. So this is Diwali. And what is the anubhav in the bhakta? Bhakti ka, how can I say this? It is the growth of the energy of devotion. And life becomes divya. हमारा जो जीवन है वो शुद्ध भी हो सकता है, पर शुद्ध में से दिव्यता में जाना है. See, there's 3 stages, right? There's the mixed stage of rag dvesh. You should remember this now. Then from that you go into sattva gun, that becomes shuddha. Shuddha sattvamaya jivan. बहुत सुंदर जीवन है. Excellent. It's a very purified life. But there's a stage beyond that, that is divyam. And that is beyond sattva gun. वो एक dimension ही अलग है. And that is where the आत्मा का जो अनुभव है, सब धामों का अनुभव है, that begins there. वो इसको अलौकिक दृष्टि. There's a beautiful bhajan. वसंत अलौकिक संत अलौकिक कृष्ण अलौकिक आए, भाव अलौकिक दाव अलौकिक. It's an amazing. ये प्रेमानंद स्वामी का भजन है. In fact, let me see if I can find that very quickly. Just give me just one more. Mention that opens this alaukika. Okay, so let's look at this here. Devanand Swami ji ka bhajan. The meaning here in this extraordinary bhajan, this is by Devanand Swami. वो महाराज के बहुत बड़े संत थे और कवि संत थे. तो ये इसका मीनिंग क्या है? वसंत अलौकिक संत अलौकिक कृष्ण अलौकिक. अलौकिक और लौकिक. Alaukic means that which is transcendental. That is the divinity. And if we get a glimpse of that, even if it opens up, that is Diwali. That is the actual Diwali. You know, so when you're sitting for dhyan, meditation, all the Utsav, Parva, these things are there. But Diwali is not only these few days, it is every moment. When the dimension of Alaukikta opens up, all 24 hours is Diwali. 365 days, 24 hours, every second, every microsecond is Diwali. This is the meaning of this bhajan. That Vasanta Alok is from that Vasanta Rutu time, right? But it means Sant kaise hai? Sant alokik. जो real Sant की जो स्थिति है, they are not stuck inside the limitations of the sansar. उनकी अलौकिक दृष्टि है, लौकिक दृष्टि नहीं है. इसमें फर्क क्या है? What is the difference between the two? लौकिक दृष्टि में, it is very limited vision. Fear is there, the agitations are there, there's divisiveness there. अलौकिक दृष्टि में ऐसा नहीं है. So भगवान जो है, कृष्ण अलौकिक आए. भगवान और भगवान के जो संत है, वो पर स्वरूप, वो जो पर तत्व है, जो प्रकृति, from the three gunas of Maya, जो ब्रह्मांड, what is what called ब्रह्मांड, they are in a dimension beyond this ब्रह्मांड. It's called दिव्य भूमि. वहां से वो आते हैं. So they're not from this world actually. They're from a different world altogether. So that is the alokik jagat. And they come from there, and the liberated souls come from there to open the doorway back into that, open that doorway into the Bhagavad Dham. भगवान के धाम में ये जीवात्मा जा कैसे सकता है? This is the point. So this bhajan is absolutely fantastic because it means, it's, every line is that every action performed by the incarnations of God are alaukika. And our realization as we progress in bhakti and jnana and more connection with Paramatma, it will open. It does open. And once it begins to open, then the entire worldly experience remains, but it is seen from the tattva point of view as simply, from a Vedanta point of view, it is just a wave on the ocean. It is a leela. It is a leela of Bhagavan Vishnu. And it is a play of energies. Chit Shakti Vilasa, from Shakti point of view. From Shakti point of view, the world is seen as Chit Shakti Vilas. Baba Muktanand ji ka pustak hai wo, from Ganesh Puri. So Chit Shakti Vilas, the play of consciousness, very famous book in spirituality. From a Shakti point of view. From the Vaishnava point of view, it is a creation of the Paramatma for the Jivatma. From a Shaiva point of view, the world is seen as Shivam only. Shivoham. From from a vibrational point of view, like a Tantra point of view, the world is seen as Spandan. Spandan karikas are there. There is a vibrational evolution, that the world is a vibration. What is it that is vibrating? That is the Shakti of that one Advitiya Tattva. That is the vibration is the Shakti, and the one that is vibrating is the Shiva, is the Atma Tattva, is the one that is, it is only one. It is called non-dual Shaiva Tantra. It depends on which sampradaya you look at. Each vision is correct. Nobody's wrong in that. It's a matter of seeing the same world in a completely different way. When this alokik bhav opens up, the whole thing is seen in a different way. In Vachanamrut mein kya likha hai? He says, wherever you look, you see that Purushottam Bhagwan. Jahan dekhu tahan Bhagwan ki hi murti dikhti hai. ऐसी भी एक स्थिति है. ज्या जुए तय राम जी बिजू न भासे रे यो माम पश्यति सर्वत्र. So एक संत, I'll close with this. स्वरूपानंद स्वामी, श्री जी महाराज के एक बहुत बड़े संत थे, स्वरूपानंद स्वामी. And his state of realization was, wherever he sees any object, he sees the object changes into the murti. भगवान की मूर्ति दिखती थी. ऐसी स्थिति थी उनकी. Because he's in that Brahmic state. He looks at an object, he doesn't even have to remember God, because he sees nothing but Paramatma. So anybody who sees him gets liberated right away. ये बात लिखी है गुणातीतानंद स्वामी निवातो. It's a scripture, गुणातीतानंद स्वामी निवातो, and it's an amazing scripture. I'll show you. Right, I have it right here. See, this is a scripture here. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's seven. These are 7 prakarana. This camera, it's not picking it up somehow. Maybe it's there. It's a book I'm holding, right? So this 7 prakarana are there. It's in Gujarati. It's amazing. And that 7 prakarana in there, there's a paragraph in there about this, that Swarupanand Swamina darshanti kalyan thai jai. Just not by words, not by kathavarta, not by anything else, just by anybody who sees him gets mukti. Why is that? Because he's living in that alokik state. These are the highest level sages are like this. Unke darshan se hi mukti milti hai. बहुत ऐसे not, we don't know how many, but there are the bigger ऊपर के level के जो संत है, they are of that category, and that is अलौकिक स्थिति. इसको अलौकिक स्थिति, गुणातीत स्थिति कहते हैं. ठीक है? So this is Diwali. That is the aim. That is the ultimate aim. Go for the topmost. Why settle for anything less? Why settle for anything less? Right? Like how you have that worldly example. When the lottery reaches $1 billion, people start buying lottery like crazy because they want to become billionaires. 1.5 billion ki lottery ka. So go for it, right? It's like that. I'm not saying people should buy lottery tickets, but it's like that. Go. Ye to Bhagwan ka sakshatkar is the topmost. There's nothing beyond that. So go for the topmost, and that's what Diwali is all about. So with that, we'll stop here for now. Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Om Sarva Mangala Mangalne Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanyatrambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namah Om Shrim Rim Shrim Kamale Kamalale Prasida Prasida Om Shrim Rim Shrim Shri Mahalakshme Namaha Om Shrim Rim Shrim Kamale Kamalale Prasida Prasida Om Shrim Rim Shrim Shri Mahalakshme Namaha Om Shrim Rim Shrim Kamale Kamalale Prasida Prasida Om Shrim Rim Shrim Shri Mahalakshme Namaha Om Shri Lakshmi Narayana Namo Namaha Om Shri Krishna Narayana Namo Namaha Om Shri Vasudev Narayana Namo Namaha Om Shri Ram Narayana Namo Namaha Om Shri Shiva Narayana Namo Namaha Om Bhagavate Shri Swami Narayana Namo Namaha Om Hrim Swaha Om Durge Durge Rakshini Tha Tha Swaha Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu.